Hello and welcome back. So we're going to kick things off now with the addition of a custom domain to our Azure Active Directory. And we're going to add this custom domain so our users don't have to log in with an onmicrosoft.com username. Now you can see here I'm logged into my Azure portal as my admin account. And if we browse over to Azure Active Directory here, which we can either do from the Azure Services pane up the top here, or from the hamburger here in the left pane. Now, if we go over into our Azure Active Directory, we can see our primary domain is currently burksbikes.onmicrosoft.com. Burks Bikes is the name of the subscription I gave it when I signed up for the subscription. What we're going to do is change this primary domain to burksbikes.com. Now, to do this, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to go into the custom domain names here, and then what we'll do is we'll add the custom domain. Now, before I add the custom domain here, what I want to do is bounce over to Domain Manager here. Now, this Domain Manager is the domain manager in GoDaddy for my burksbikes.com domain. Now, I need access to this because when I add this custom domain here in Azure, what Azure is going to do is present me with a text record that I then need to add to my DNS for my domain. And then Azure will go out and verify I added that record. And what that does is verify my ownership of the domain. So let's go out back into Burks Bikes here and we'll add a custom domain here. And over here, we'll just add burksbikes.com. Now, again, I should stress here that I've already purchased this burksbikes.com domain from GoDaddy. I've registered this domain and it cost me about $12, I think. So we'll go ahead and add this domain. And then we're presented with the custom domain name verification screen here, where I need to create a text record with the points to address that's shown in this field here. So we'll copy this to the clipboard. We'll go back over into Domain Manager. And then what we'll do is we'll add a record. Now, if you remember, it's a text record with the @ as the alias, and the TTL really isn't all that important. But we'll go ahead and bounce over here. We're deploying a text record with the @ as the host. And that's the text value we copied. And I just leave the TTL at its default 1 hour, and we'll save it. Now, it usually takes a few minutes for that record to take before I can verify, but we'll bounce back over here and we'll try to verify right away here. And we can see here it failed to verify. So let's give it a few minutes. Now, it will say here down here that sometimes it could take up to 72 hours to propagate. I've never seen it take 72 hours before I can go ahead and verify my domain. So let's give it a second or two here and then we'll try again. And we'll try it one more time here. And there we go. So now we've successfully verified our domain. And then what we'll do here is make it primary. Now, we're not going to download Azure AD Connect for this particular lab because we're not using an on-prem Active Directory. We're simply using the Azure AD and the Azure Active Directory domain services. So we don't need to sync from an on-prem AD here. If we bounce back out to Burks Bikes, and we go into our overview page here, we can see the primary domain is still listed as burksbikes.onmicrosoft.com. However, if we go ahead and refresh here, we can see the primary domain has changed to burksbikes.com. Now that we have the burksbikes.com domain configured as our primary domain, let's jump into the next lesson where we'll create some test users for our environment.